Your favorite day of the week and Stovetop Saturday. If you want to introduce yourself for everybody, and we'll jump right into it.
Hey everyone, I'm Laurie Storrie, playing a punk rock band on Vancouver Island called Mean Bikini, and I run Outhouse Records.
How far down will you go? How far will you slip? Rock bottom's catching up, and you can't swim. When I look at you, all I see is a sinking ship. I know for you were wrong, but you can't get a grip. But will you cut this shit? Accountability is pretty sick. You dug your own grave. Now fucking drown in it.
So you run that.
Yeah,
Is that like a home business, or like how is that all operating for you on your guys' end?
yeah, I run it. I run it from my house, and it's a lot of promotion, help bands put out records, and I've got a silkscreen studio in my house too, so I print merch for bands and book tours and stuff. But most of it happens right here at home.
Good on you, man. Fucking rights. That's some fucking cool shit, dude. Like I like that. Especially because you can see on the side like all the hardware and everything like that. Um, I came from a more hip hop side of things.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I'm sure that some people will see some of the hardware beside you as some musical porn. Me, I can see that it's a lot of hardware. Um, no idea what it does.
Hey, just because it's there doesn't mean it's good hardware, you know?
Fair enough. So let's start from the beginning. Like, where'd your musical journey start? Where did it all start for you in the beginning?
Um, I grew up in a really musical family. My mom played piano and she was always doing events and working with bands and doing album design and stuff. So I was always around musicians. For me, I joined band in elementary school playing the trumpet, did that for 7 years, but it was, you know how school music is. Like it was fun enough, and I'm um, glad I got the lessons out of it. But mostly it was just had to do it. Then outside of high school, or kind of near the end of high school is when I found punk rock music, and that was the first time I loved music. Like that was the first time music was more than just what was on the radio, and started a band with some friends that we lived in a small town, couldn't find a singer, so we practiced twice a week for like 2 years with never having a vocalist. Never
Oof.
played a show, but was just like, let's just play. And yeah, so that's kind of the very beginning of it.
So, and like when I was doing some digging on you on the band, you guys like you yourselves. Holy crap! I'm sorry.
That's
Um,
okay.
well, I was doing some digging on the group. I seen that you guys had a double bass string on one of your guys' songs. It was the I believe it was the acoustic song that you guys did.
Oh yeah, that was just kind of a weird one-off. We have some friends up in Cumberland who do studio sessions kind of in this old converted church, and they were like they mostly do acoustic bands and we don't play acoustic. So they were like, "Can you do an acoustic version of one of your songs?" So I borrowed a stand-up bass from a pal and we did a kind of weird version, but that's not our normal MO.
No, and it may still not be your normal MO, but even to still look at it, to even see a modern day band, especially a punk rock band, but to see a
Yeah,
modern day band using such a diverse instrument, like especially for your guys' genre, it's
yeah.
very um different. I can't think of the word. But and as you were saying about discovering punk rock in high school, now like it's a very tight niche community.
Yeah.
Um, So like especially with the music scene, with it being tight niche, do you guys have any issues like getting shows or doing any of that down there?
Not really, no. It's I've been like a touring musician for almost 20 years now. So at this point it's easy because I can call up friends and just say, "Hey, can we do a show in this town?" But there's definitely a grind in the beginning and I think any music scene, unfortunately, it's kind of who you know and this and that. So you could be the best band, but you're blindly emailing people, especially if you don't have a record out, being like, can we play a show?" And I put on shows too, and I know I get, you know, sometimes 10 emails a day from bands being like, "Hey, can you book us a show? We don't have any records, we don't have any recordings," and it's tricky. So
How do you feel with the way that social media connects you with the listeners?
I feel I'm split on it because I think there's something really neat about kind of like getting to know bands, and some people use it really well and they're posting great content about, be it like things they do in their life or what tour life looks like, or maybe causes that they get behind. Like it's a great way for a band to say, "Hey, here's my personality." But then you also get all these bands that just are like, "Surprise coming soon. If you could take me for lunch, where would we go?" or whatever. And that stuff, I'm like, come on, like and there's a pressure in a band to be like, if you don't conquer social media, you're never going to make it. And that's, a double-edged sword because like I said, I want to show the personality of the band and I want to use it for good, but I don't want to just be on there every day putting out crap. Like I'm here to play music, not to just get followers based on algorithms.
Another day, the headline reads some nameless, faceless, and yet again, fantasies no family to claim. To carry on their name, it's just a current state. Our fuck reality. Come on!
And that's the difficult thing nowadays is because being a musician now, we have 20 different jobs. We're an A&R,
Yeah.
we're promotion, we're mixing and mastering, we're the band members themselves. Like, we're writing the music, we're trying to book our own we're doing 20 different things, plus learning how to use Facebook to a business level,
Yeah, yeah, right.
right? You know
Like
what
for
I
me,
mean?
the only reason I even have Facebook, if not social media, is to stay in touch and book shows and connect with other musicians. Like it's shifted so dramatically, but like you said, that doesn't mean we really know how to use it.
So it's especially again kind of sort of leading off of this. This is a bit like a trademark question for the stovetop. If you could work with any artist or group of any genre, dead or alive, who would it be?
Can I pick the time period too?
Whichever works. Like you can
I
pick
I mean,
multiple.
I I maybe it's a trite answer, but I think probably the Clash. I think you know, there's so much history in punk rock and there's so much, you know, argument of like almost chapters. Like the Sex Pistols start and they take punk rock in this direction, and the Clash start and the Ramones start. And I think like I'm a very political person. Me and Bikini is a very political band, and that's something I really appreciate about the Clash is how they, you know, they send their flag up the mast and say, "This is what we stand for. This is what we believe in." And there's maybe other bands that musically I like more, I'm more excited about, but they're a band that's had a huge impact on me. So
And I can appreciate that. And to a certain degree and extent, I like bands if we do it healthy and properly, and cover topics that are meant to be covered and not just a gimmick topic, right?
yeah,
Just right, where you're covering things that you actually stand on and that you mean. I respect it and I appreciate. I'm not a extremely political person, but I can respect everybody's points of view on everything.
yeah,
So yeah, especially for you guys being willing and open to share your points of view on such a open broadcast, if you will, is
yeah.
very respectful.
I also think that whether it's political or whether you're writing love songs or anything, like as long as you mean it, people are going to pick up on that, right? Like you can hear a let's say love song that's really from the heart, and then you can hear one that's kind of like this is made to sell chocolates on February 14th, you know?
Exactly. So as I was doing some digging on the band, I noticed, obviously this came from your guys' website. This isn't my total digging. I didn't, I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
Nardwar or nothing. In 2023, you guys released two EPs, through your guys, through the record,
yeah,
Outhouse Records, did a cross Canada tour between
yeah,
Vancouver Island to Montreal, along with a small handful of festivals. And then
yeah,
we're leading into 2024. Played 35 shows from Quebec to Ontario. And like that's such a small broadband. Um, Began writing a full length album along with a handful of appearances again this year or that year at multiple festivals. Like y'all putting in work.
yeah. I think especially, as like I'm turning 40 pretty soon, and doing this for so many years, it's kind of one of those things that's like let's do it. Like if we're gonna do it, let's do it. And so we played 50 shows last year, and
That's fucking amazing.
the thing is like the return is there, or like the growth is there, and to go back to the towns we played, every 3 months or every 6 months, and make friends and build connections. And when you go back and you see people singing along to your songs, and we will probably never have a song on the radio, not just based on our genre, but to see that, like it's so worth it, and it's so fun, and it stops feeling like work after a little bit.
You know, I don't want you to say that you'll never hear your songs on the radio because we have Sirius XM.
There.
We have music where we have or like that Kanye West with Lil Pump where it was just nothingness. We have a lot of
Absolutely
music
fair.
where like there's nothingness. There's also political news channels
Yeah,
on XM. Don't draw your line in the sand,
I totally agree with you.
right? Like
Yeah,
there's a big opportunity for you guys, um, if you're open for it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I need to like this is why I have a script. um, so with you guys having doing multiple festivals and countless shows, have you had like is there a show experience where you're like this is the one where you're gonna write home about every time?
um, like a specific show or a specific place, or
Either way.
um, I think Nelson, BC has been a place that is so good to us. We've only played there 4 or 5 times, but we just played there 2 weeks ago and like sold out the main venue. And it it's I don't know why we just connect with that, and the audience connects with us. And every time we go, we know it's going to be the show of the year.
Fucking A.
Um, so if you're a musician in BC or thinking of coming to BC, I highly recommend Nelson. And Edmonton's been a really, really big treat for us too.
Really?
Yeah. The first couple
Um,
shows we had there were awful, and then just like one day a switch goes off, and you play a good show, and I guess everyone tells their friends, and then you come back, and we were there on a Monday night
oof.
uh, on tour, and next thing you know, like the room was absolutely packed, and all these people we never met are singing along, and you just have that moment of like, oh, all the sacrifice and all the hard work and grinding and all those bad shows.
Call it what you want, but it's a nightmare that you're living in. Call it what you want, but it's a nightmare that you're living in. It's torturous, but you like the way it burns. It may be self-inflicted, but still you never learn. It's just too much, but you like the way it stings. Sets a flame to your nerve endings. Something inside you shatters like 1,000 times before. You thought you had it locked in, but now you need it more and more. Eviscerate, annihilate, destroy yourself again. And fill it all back up to something of a different way.
The
Blood,
work
sweat, and
ethic.
tears and gas
Yeah,
money,
yeah,
right?
broken vehicles.
Yeah, that seems to be quite a common thing with a lot of bands and a lot of underground rappers. They're driving too, and then they're like, "Yeah, we broke down in the middle of butt fuck nowhere."
Yeah.
Um, oh, I can't remember what the hell I was gonna ask you. That's fine, whatever. So any side hobbies outside of music, or is music what you live and breathe?
Uh, I I like run 5 businesses. I'm an absolutely
Oh,
crazy person. I run a construction business as my kind of day job, and that's nice because that allows me to take time off when I want and fund the band stuff. Um, and I run a community bike shop as well.
wow.
So yeah, those are the non-musical things, and then there's the band, the record label, and we're starting a community radio station on Pender Island where I live. So
See, why can't you put your music on the community station,
yeah,
dude?
no,
Like,
I agree. I think what I was saying was people haven't heard us on the radio, and that's not going to be. I don't think that's going to be our ticket, you know?
I can understand that, especially with your guys's um demographic and area of the type of music that you do, which would kind of almost kind of contradict with you guys going mainstream, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
that's not the metric by which I define success, is what I mean to say.
Understandable. I do remember. Have you guys done any shows in Prince George?
Not with this band, no.
Okay, because I was gonna say I know that the Prince George scene up there for y'all's niche is wild.
Yeah,
I sat down with a young band, the Narcans. I'm not trying to promote nobody else, but I sat down with a young band of them, and they're hosting shows constantly.
yeah.
So I kind of figured I'll try to throw a bone to your guys' group, and hopefully maybe you guys can make a stop there for the Prince George scene.
Yeah, definitely. We're always looking to play new places, and I used to do merch for a band years ago, and we played a show up there, and it was awesome. And I have some pals up there, so
Okay, shout out Prince George.
yeah,
Um, So again, as I was doing some research on the band, I seen you guys do have a couple collabs under your belt. So what makes a good collab for you? What makes it nice and smooth with, no ripples in the water?
with like with other artists and everything.
Yes.
I think I mean, we mostly when we're writing our last album, like yeah, we did 6 or 7 songs on it that had guest features and collaborations, and we mostly kind of wrote a song and then said, "Hey, this needs something more. Who do we hear?" And then we'd reach out to some pals. So uh, it felt very, very like fluid and easygoing just right from the beginning.
Fucking A. Um, to close this out, And I think it's a good lesson to share with everybody in the industry, especially from yourself. What's the hardest lesson in the industry that you've learned so far?
I want to think about that.
I strive to try to ask some hard questions on here.
No, I like the hard questions. I like it. Um, I think just just standing your ground and finding the line of sticking up for yourself, believing in yourself, but being good to the other people in the industry. If you come into a show and you treat the sound person well and you treat the venue manager well and these things, sometimes even if they're not treating you well, you can really make an impact, and you never know who's in the room, who's watching. So I kind of just think putting your best foot forward, but then also sometimes you have people that try and trample you, and knowing what you're worth, and yeah, knowing when to bow out and knowing when to fight for yourself.
Fucking rights. I got some mad respect for you as not even just a human being, but as an artist myself. Um, especially with you running your own businesses. Sorry, like there's only 24 hours in a day. I don't know how much sleep you get or how much coffee you drink, but
Right.
my salutes out to you, and I hope more for you guys in the future.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, this year's a big year. We've got a bunch of big festivals coming, and you know, it's more work and it's more growth, but it seems that momentum's there, which is a really great feeling.
Fucking rights. Well, Stovetop podcast, and we're out.
Hello, hello, hello. We are Me and Bikini. I'm Millie. This is Josh, Laurie, and Ronnie. Thank you to the Cumberland Studio Sessions for having us here as a part of their new series. We're going to be playing a new single we just released called Gravity. We hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Great. That was a good verse.